And who is that?
Terence Crawford. That's it. You know, I'm 41-0 for a reason. You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes.
Our job is to line it up. And us fighters, we're warriors. We always want to fight them.
Me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
I want to lose. I don't want to lose because now society has shaped things to where if a fighter lose, they talk so bad about, oh, he's a bum. I knew he was overrated. Oh, y'all hyped him up, and now they gotta hear it. But back in the day, they didn't have social media. You know what I mean? So all that wasn't in their face.
Floyd Mayweather has sent a sharp warning to Terence Crawford amid the heated debate over who would win. He cautioned that Crawford might be chasing a ghost, reminding everyone that the Mayweather who ruled boxing retired on his own terms. Floyd made it clear he won't let anyone rewrite his legacy or undo what he already accomplished at the top of the sport. Floyd told Smith that boxing isn't only about who's stronger now, but about who ruled the stage when it counted most. In his view, Crawford hitting his mid-30s makes it too late to ask for a fight that should have happened years ago when it would have drawn the biggest numbers and meant the most. That message landed in the middle of a heated debate on Stephen A. Smith's platform, where Floyd and Crawford faced off in a rare back and forth that had the boxing world glued. Mayweather stayed calm, but his words hit hard. He told Crawford, "Win all you want, beat the guys I never fought. You're still not rewriting my history." With that, Floyd kept the spotlight on his own era while subtly poking Crawford for showing up too late to ever share the ring with him. This debate isn't just about two fighters anymore. It's pulled in fans, fighters, and analysts on both sides. Even Ryan Garcia has stepped in, firing sharp words at Mayweather during Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring. When LaShawn McCoy claimed nobody changed the game like Floyd, Garcia cut him off with, "in a bad way." He argued Floyd mastered not just boxing, but the business of timing, fighting opponents when it suited him, waiting until stars like Pacquiao were past their prime. Garcia claimed Floyd's perfection came from perfect matchmaking, not perfect fighting, and said this mindset led boxers to protect their records instead of chasing the toughest fights.
Like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather, y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to...
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same.
Like Floyd career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy.
No, we knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed?
Max Kellerman added his voice to the storm, breaking down why Crawford's legacy could rival Floyd's. He argued that once Mayweather left lightweight, he carefully chose when and who to fight, stacking a resume full of names but avoiding certain challenges at certain times. Crawford, on the other hand, has shown he wants everyone, every time, even if his resume looks thinner on paper. That hunger, Kellerman said, leaves a lasting impression on fans and creates a different kind of respect, making Crawford's case for greatness feel authentic and earned. And that's where the debate hits hardest: resume versus intent. Mayweather's record glitters with names like De La Hoya, Pacquiao, Cotto, Hatton, Marquez, Mosley, Gatti, Corrales, and more. But critics such as Garcia and Kellerman argue timing dulled the shine. Pacquiao was older and slower by 2015. Mosley was 38 after a layoff. Cotto had taken years of punishment, and Canelo was just 23 at a catchweight. Floyd still beat them all, but for those critics, the asterisk never truly fades. On the other hand, Crawford's resume may be lighter, but his approach tells another story. He never cared about timing, taking Sean Porter while he was still dangerous, dismantling Errol Spence at 35, and stunning the world by beating Canelo at super middleweight. Crawford's issue wasn't dodging fights, it was being dodged. Promoters and networks saw him as high risk, low reward, leaving him years without marquee bouts. By the time Spence finally happened, Crawford was already deep into his 30s, still proving he'd fight anyone, anywhere. We already knew Crawford was great, and tonight proved it again. I trained hard, gave everything, but couldn't solve his style. His movement, speed, and timing were too much. Now at 38, he's 42-0, undisputed across 3 weight classes, with names like Gamboa, Postal, Horn, Porter, Spence, and Alvarez on his list. Still, compared to Mayweather's 50 wins, the numbers favor Floyd. Yet Crawford holds one card Floyd never played, chasing a 6th weight class. If he drops to middleweight and takes a belt, he'll do what Floyd never tried, pushing the debate even further.
Floyd had a lot of craft that mimicked some of the things that Sugar Ray did. So does Terence. And Terence is psychologically a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the same kind of capacity to be charming and then in the next 30 seconds to turn on his fire. And that, I think, is part of what he's going to take into the ring against Canelo.
The main thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah,
there's an OG
somebody
somewhere.
got to pioneer,
right? Yeah, you got it. There's an OG you can't outfigure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't outfigure.
So were you surprised that Crawford wasn't running from him? He was, he was very confident that he could stand there and trade. A lot of times with Canelo.
Crawford fought a brilliant fight. He fought a brilliant fight. He stayed at the right range. He didn't engage with Canelo when Canelo was trying to get him to engage with him. And he took control of the fight. And he did what he wanted when he wanted.
So strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol historically might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, Crawford might have surpassed TBE.
The timing of their eras adds another layer. Crawford grabbed his first world title in 2014, just a year before Floyd beat Pacquiao and Berto to close his run. The overlap was brief but real. Had Floyd stayed, the fight might have happened, but by then he was protecting his legacy, not chasing risks. That's what Floyd meant on Stephen A. Smith's show, Don't Ask Now. If it was going to happen, it had to be during the peak money and hype. That window is gone, and so are the what-ifs. Crawford's wins today can't pull Floyd back into the ring, and that hasn't stopped fans from picturing the matchup. Mayweather at 147 was a defensive master, nearly untouchable and able to break foes down over 12 rounds. He ruled welterweight for a decade, going 12-0 from ages 28 to 38. Crawford at 147 was more explosive, a switch hitter with knockout power and a ruthless edge. In just 5 years, he went 8-0, finishing most opponents with authority. Taller, longer, and more versatile in stance and style, Crawford brought a different kind of danger to the same division, in a mythical matchup. Crawford's size and relentless aggression would test Mayweather's defense in ways few ever managed. Fans liken it to Paul Williams, another tall, high-volume welterweight once seen as Floyd's nightmare opponent. Add Crawford's adaptability and southpaw power, and it's easy to see why many think Mayweather might have had to fight harder than ever to keep his since Bud's so strong. Critics argue he should stop at nothing. Why even talk about 154 when no one there can push him? If he really beat Canelo, why not aim for the greatest ever title? Bivol's the only man to beat 2 active undisputed champions, Canelo and Beterbiev. And some believe if Crawford toppled Bivol too, he'd surpass TBE. But Mayweather's defenders fire back. Floyd's style was built to neutralize aggression. He didn't need 70 punches a round, just 25 perfect ones while making you miss 50. Against a switch-hitting Crawford, Floyd could frustrate him like he did Canelo in 2013 or Ricky Hatton in 2007. Then there's stage control. Floyd ruled pay-per-view weekends, dictating when and how fights happened. Crawford, despite beating Spence and Canelo, never had that leverage.